Australia finished the opening day of the series against Pakistan 346 for 5 here at Perth Stadium. David Warner the star, a magnificent 164 to underpin Australia's total. It was an interesting day, Danyal. Pakistan struggled early on but fought their way back. What did you make of it?
I think when David Warner got going in that first session, you feared the worst for Pakistan. The first over went for 14, a couple of edges through the slips. Khwaja got off to a decent start at that time. Pakistan weren't getting the luck they needed. They don't quite have the bowling attack they've probably had in yesteryear. So at that time, the first session, 117 without lost 25 overs. Yeah, I think Pakistan was struggling at that time. But then in Shan Masood, they have what I think a pragmatic captain. They drag their lengths back slightly. Salman Ali Agha bowled reasonably well for a part-time spinner. And once the first wicket came, I think they just kept chipping away at Australia. Only twice this century on the first day of any test have Pakistan taken more wickets than the 5 they managed here. So even David Warner at the end alluded to potentially Pakistan taking one more wicket, than Australia would have desired. Pakistan will look at that as a day that even though Australia had the better of, they probably came away with just about what they deserved. But in the end, the day is all about David Warner, isn't it?
It is about David Warner. He has a stunning record against Pakistan. He averages over 140, I think, against Pakistan at home. That was his 5th century against Pakistan at home. He's got 6 in total, actually averages 88 against Pakistan across his career. There's been so many questions, so many things written about David Warner, so many things said about David Warner in the lead up to this, and whether he deserves his test place, whether he deserves his farewell in test cricket. I think now's the time to appreciate just how good a player David Warner is. There are very few players in world cricket who could have done what David Warner did today. The way he was able to control the tempo, put pressure back on the Pakistan bowlers. He took a lot of the blueprint that he had in the ODI World Cup into this innings. He was using his getting out of his crease and walking down the track to change the lengths of the Pakistan bowlers, punch balls into gaps. He cover drove really well. He pounced on anything short. He did note in his press conference after the day's play that he felt like Pakistan got away from their lengths early on and he was able to capitalise. The shot of the day was the one off Shaheen Shah Afridi, similar to the one off Haris Rauf in the World Cup in Bengaluru. Got down, collapsed off his back knee and flicked him 88 metres over fine leg for 6. It was an extraordinary shot from a ball that was hitting the top of off stump. He is a player that Australia won't know what they've got until he's gone, and he's going to leave in 2 test matches time after this, and he's going to leave a massive hole in the Australian lineup. He's closing in. He's only 13 runs away from becoming Australia's most prolific test opener in history. He's 5th on Australia's all-time run scoring list now, going past Matthew Hayden and Michael Clarke today. It was a wonderful innings, and he showed how difficult this surface is because no other Australian player reached 50, and none of the Australian players really felt comfortable apart from Warner. So it was a wonderful innings, an intriguing day's play. It'll be interesting to see what Alex Carey and Mitchell Marsh can do, and whether or not Pakistan can continue to make inroads into the Australian tail tomorrow.
I think Ahmed Jamal was punchy at the press conference. He said we want to get Australia out in the first hour, which I think is optimistic. But he also did mention that Alex Carey and Mitchell Marsh are looking to go after the bowling, and that opens up opportunities for Pakistan. The worry for them, I'd say, is in search of wickets. If Australia get past 400 with the quality, with the pace battery that they have, the attack that they have, that might already be too much for Pakistan. So I think Pakistan have this dual challenge of looking to get Australia out while not having many runs to play with. That's where I reckon Australia have a clear advantage going into that second day because of the runs they've scored, and much of that is down to David Warner, who showed he doesn't just have the ability, he also has the intelligence, because he talked about taking on Shaheen, who's Pakistan's only experienced bowler. He played the shot of the day against him. He hit the debutants off their lengths early as well, and I think the 117 they scored in that first session gave them the buffer to perhaps be a little more cavalier over the next 2 sessions and have that margin for error that they're now able to utilise.
It'll be interesting to see how Australia's bowlers bowl on this surface. It looked like it was difficult against the second new ball. It may quicken up over the next couple of days. Stay tuned here on ESPNcricinfo for all of the analysis from Danyal and the rest of us here in Perth. Hope you enjoyed day 1.